My name is Max. I'm a senior from Stanford, California, studying human biology with a concentration in environmental studies. And this quarter, I'm actually starting my Earth Systems co-term as well, which I'll be continuing next year. This past summer, I interned at the Santa Lucia Conservancy in Carmel for the Bill Lane Center, and it was an amazing position. I had an extremely fulfilling time over the summer. I really appreciated the experience with hands-on fieldwork that I got, particularly assisting with the grazing team as well as the invasive species team. And I think the highlights for me from this work was working with the ongoing projects of tracking wildlife populations. So we looked at raptor populations, amphibian populations, butterflies, other sorts of birds, and all this work I found really exciting. And along with these ongoing field projects, each intern had their own personal project. Mine was a repeat photography project where I first identified a number of photographs from the archives of the Conservancy and then identified the locations on the preserve where they were each taken, traveled to each of these locations, retook photographs as they look today to track how the landscapes had or had not changed over time. And the final product of this work was a website which was published on the Conservancy webpage. And overall, I had an unforgettable summer, particularly with my personal project, and I'm grateful for the experience, grateful to both the Bill Lane Center for making this possible and the Santa Lucia Conservancy for being so welcoming. And I hope that other students can have the same experience in the future.
Hello, my name is Ilinca Popescu, and I am a second year in the Earth Systems program from Columbia, Missouri. I worked with the Henry Ford Foundation in Ashland, Idaho through the Bill Lane Center this past summer of 2019, and I'm really excited to share my positive personal experiences with the center and Henry's Fork Foundation, and how my participation with the Bill Lane Center has helped further my academic career and grow as a person. So, when I was finally paired with the Henry's Fork Foundation, they were very communicative about what to bring and expect for the internship. They also outlined what my project would include, which involved installing various water quality saw automation equipment, surveying water trail users, and analyzing the economic impact of second home owner contributions via taxes and recreation expenditures. Having this information before the internship made it really easy to do background literature reviews, so I was able to be prepared and do my job well. Even when there were some administrative hiccups when I first arrived, my supervisor was really understanding as she guided me through my projects that gave me a lot of opportunities to be flexible and learn different things that were curated to my interests. During my 10 weeks, I gained a lot of hands-on experience with aquatic data collection methods, hardware installation, data analysis through our program, and survey skills as well as communication when we finally delivered our projects at the end. I also really loved my living and social situation since the foundation gives our interns free housing, which is so nice, and living with the 5 other interns made my weekend something to look forward to. Ranging from climbing lessons in the Tetons, going to a rodeo, and fly fishing floats with other staff. By the end of my internship, I was and still am really proud of the skills and final product that resulted from my work that I will be able to take with me further in my career in conservation sciences. The Water Trail Recreation Survey I helped conduct got published in a final report that was sent to the U.S. Forest Service to further their resource management plan, and my work with second homeowner contributions was added to an ongoing study that will also be published soon by the foundation. I also feel really fortunate to have made amazing memories with wonderful people. Since my internship, I could not have recommended the program enough to my friends, regardless of their major, Earth Systems or not, and have met many other students who feel the same way who have done a Bill Lane Center program. Overall, having an internship through the Bill Lane Center was one of the best decisions I have ever made at Stanford, a decision which was accessible, and it gave me an experience that gifted me many wonderful connections and helped to continue my passion for environmental research. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tanvi Kampir. I am from Monterey County, and I graduated with my co-terminal master's degree in civil and environmental engineering from Stanford University in December 2019. I worked with Iris and the Bill Lane Center during my senior year at Stanford, and then came back to work with them during my co-term. As part of my research with the Bill Lane Center, I worked on 3 projects. I developed a benchmark to assess how local coastal programs in California assess sea level rise. I wrote a technical paper analyzing how effective the integrated regional water management system in California is as seen through the perspective of the participants in the process. And I explored the quality of government funding for water projects in California from a socio-demographic, environmental, and political perspective. The thing about the Bill Lane Center that I find most valuable is the flexibility in the types of projects that the center explores. It encourages students to view and address environmental issues through a creative lens. It was through the Bill Lane Center that I was able to use and develop my data analysis skills. My time with BLC influenced my decision to pursue a data-driven career in the energy, environmental, and sustainability sector.
Hi, my name is Sasha Landauer. I'm a senior taking the spring quarter off, so I'll be back next year. I'm from New York City, and I have worked with the Bill Lane Center for the last 2 years, which has been incredible. Last year, I have kind of 2 different buckets of things that I've done. I write articles covering events that the center puts on, so I got to cover this really big symposium on Burning Man last year. And I wrote an article about Wes Studi and other speakers that the center invited. And I also do research with Lucas Felsman, who's a center-affiliated photographer. And that's been really incredible. I've done one article covering an event that he put on, and then this year I published a photo essay. So it was using his photographs and then integrating some research that I've done on my thesis, which is related to philosophy and literature, to kind of bring to bear on his photos and thinking about how they connect with different conservation efforts. And then right now I'm working on an article that I'm writing about the visit that I had with him, where he showed me his darkroom and his space and his process of thinking in San Francisco, which was incredible. And so he's writing, his next book will be The Conceptual Atlas of California, and we're thinking about ways that I can be involved with that even going forward. So I'm so grateful to the Bill Lane Center for sponsoring my research for the last 2 years and for giving me the chance to bring together so many of my different interests in a really, really incredible way.
Hello everybody, welcome to beautiful Hawaii, the wonderful world of energy.
Now these past 10 days we visited essentially every energy-related corporation on the beautiful and ethereal Hawaiian islands of Oahu and the Big Island. We were able to speak with experts in the field to answer questions on their current goal of 100% renewables by 2045.
So without any further ado, let's start with talking about where a lot of Hawaii's energy comes from. This bad boy!
We started at Par Oil Refinery, where we learned about all the services their work provides to the island, from the fuel oil powering the grid to the jet fuel integral to tourism in Hawaii. Later, we toured the AES coal-fired power plant. This facility could power 20% of Oahu's energy needs 24/7, 365. Next, H-Power. H-Power is a waste-to-energy facility that is innovative with a simple concept: burn trash to run a steam cycle and create electricity. The concept was fascinating and incredible to watch in action.
Yeah.
A whole lot of energy.
At the end of our first 2 days, we had immersed ourselves in the world of Hawaiian fossil fuels and, surprisingly enough, we were more excited than ever about the future of clean energy in Hawaii.
Oh, hi there, me from the past. Coal and oil burning power plants is currently public enemy number 1. The solution is super easy. Just slap a couple more solar panels on roofs and harness the sun's energy. Oh, naive little me from the past. The issue of sustainable energy is so much more complicated than that.
For one, the size is limited and land prices are high. Fortunately, Hawaii is leading the way for the world to watch. Renewables currently account for 31% of day-to-day electricity generation in Oahu, among the highest in the US.
We started at Kaiwalua Wind Farm. We also toured 2 solar farms, and their sheer size was mind-blowing. Oahu would need 10,000 acres of solar to meet the island's peak demand, not to mention storage to support it.
Hey guys, we're at HECO right now, which is the Hawaiian Electric Company that provides electricity for like 90% of the Hawaiian Islands.
Some of our faith in the possibility of a clean energy was restored by HECO. The confidence of grid operators and the possibility of using biodiesel to solve problems associated with renewables were reassuring. Today, we met the man behind it all, Colton Ching of the Hawaiian Electric Company. HECO outlined their plans and fielded our questions on how they will transition their grid to the 100% renewable energy.
So today we're going around to a lot of government offices. We're at the Public Utilities Commission. Later we'll be meeting with the governor.
The Public Utility Commission is trying to make the transition to clean energy more affordable for marginalized communities by income support, loan programs, community outreach, and housing projects.
And we're reminded about the issue of land use. Just the day before, protesters were at the steps of the PUC protesting a new wind farm. Finally, we met with the governor, who expressed his support for this plan as part of his goal to make Hawaii more independent.
Now off to the Big Island.
We got to witness the Mauna Kea protests. These are aimed at protecting sacred lands and holding government leaders accountable to their centuries of false promises. They have served as a platform for unifying indigenous communities across the island. It is essential that we stand with these individuals, as the actions taken regarding the telescope will set the tone for major land use projects and energy developments to come.
When we visited a 100% renewable ranch, we were even able to see a stovetop that burned hydrogen gas and even hydrogen fuel cells and electrolyzers.
The ranch architect was a big proponent of hydrogen. He said it was silly to exclude hydrogen as a solution for energy needs in favor of only batteries. We quickly became enamored with this land and understood why people fight so hard to protect it. Hawaii embarked on a journey to clean energy without knowing how or if it would accomplish its goal. And maybe it's even okay it doesn't reach its goal at all. Their bold first step is a big one and half the challenge, one that is providing hope and setting an example for the world.